morning, Northwest. I'm Truman.
And I'm Isabella.
And we'd like to welcome you to Titan Connect. Please stand for the pledge. Put your right hand over your heart and your left hand by your side and say it with us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may remain standing for dress code check.
I can see through you. I don't know if that's dress code. That is, yeah, I don't know. Sorry.
You may now be seated. So the Super Bowl is on Sunday, and Eagles versus Chiefs. And if you see Miss Gibson in the hallway, she is an Eagles fan. And if you don't like the Eagles, make sure she knows that. And we also have the sneaker ball dance for 7th grade on Friday. Last call for tickets are on Friday. And then we also have candy grams that are now being sold. All right.
Good morning, Northwest. This is Isabella's. During this week's announcement, we will review a few positivity projects, character strains covered so far this year. Throughout the week, we will take another look at optimism, prudence, social intelligence, creativity, and other people mindset, supporting others' ways when they struggle. Today, we'll focus on social intelligence.
Social intelligence helps us build positive relationships and is vital to numerous aspects of a person's life. Timing is a big part of social intelligence. People with social intelligence can read other people's faces and moods and know how to respond appropriately.
As you go through your day, be sure to look out for positivity in action and look for ways to demonstrate social intelligence.
And now for Mr. Egnott.
Alrighty, good morning, Northwest. Happy Wednesday. Hope everybody is well. For my 7th grade crew, hope everybody's ready to purchase their dance tickets, and we'll see you there in the gym for our sneaker ball on Friday afternoon. So for Wednesday, we have our This Day in History on Wednesday. So today is February the 5th. And, you know, this day in history is kind of interesting because it is relatable to some of the topics that we have currently going on in our world right now, and especially for our 7th grade students who are currently in the unit of World War I. So the first one is that the Mexican Constitution was actually officially ratified on February the 5th of 1917. President Carranza becomes the first official Mexican president in its history. The goal was to bring reforms, bring land back to the native people. And through this revolution, the United States actually did have an involvement in this revolution, trying to hunt down and actually assassinate one of the revolutionaries that was on the other side of the map, and his name was Pancho Villa. And the United States ends up stopping their pursuit of Pancho Villa also on February 5th of 1917. So Mexican has created their constitution, and it is the same constitution that is currently being used by Mexico today. I know that we have that particular country and Canada and the United States involved in a lot of political things going on in our world right now. So that little bit of Mexican history for you there. How it relates to World War I is when in 1917 also is when the United States is finalizing its pursuit of Pancho Villa. Also at the same time, you're going to be learning in your 7th grade social studies classes, and when you get into this in 8th grade as well, the United States actually entering into the World War in 1917 up until its end in 1918. The next piece of history that happens on February the 5th is associated with, even though that it was vetoed by President Woodrow Wilson around the same time period that we're talking about World War I, is when the United States actually puts in the Immigration Act. Basically stating that immigrants that are coming into the United States had to pass a literacy test in their language. So a lot of this actually cut down on immigration quite tremendously up until the mid-1920s. It also excluded any immigrants of Asiatic background to be coming to the United States as well. So again, applying to what we see in 2025, some things that were happening well over 100 years ago were happening in our country as well. So it's something that has been an ongoing political and country history an issue. So we just always want to be aware of that. That's why, as a former social studies teacher, history tends to repeat itself. And we have seen that over and over again when we do our studies of history. So we always just want to be aware of some of those things that are happening. So we definitely have hot pulse topics about immigration. We also are talking about our relations with Mexico and with Canada currently in our news. So that is your This Day in History on Wednesday, February the 5th. Here in a moment, we are going to be turning it over to show a video. Officer Evelyn giving us more safety tips to make sure that we are always staying safe here at Northwest. Thank you so much.
Hey Titan family, it's me. It's your SRO, Officer Evelyn. I hope all is well, and I hope everyone's doing great. Happy New Year. I hope the year has gotten off to a great start for you. With that being said, let's talk safety. Titans, we're already into the third week of the year. Time is flying, but that shouldn't give us a reason to forget our rules and regulations and our do's and don'ts. Let's talk about it. So the things we say. Sometimes the things we say can get us in a lot of trouble. Sometimes we don't necessarily understand why someone may take a joke that we may say out of context. But just remember, some jokes are not jokes to everyone. So certain things we can't say. So let's be mindful of the things we say. You shouldn't say anything involving a weapon. You shouldn't say anything in reference to hurting somebody with a weapon. You shouldn't say anything or even bringing a weapon on campus. You shouldn't say anything about even having a weapon, because those are all things that should be taken serious. And we do take that very serious here at Northwest Middle. Understand, if you say something and someone believes that you're actually capable of doing it, that's considered a threat. So when you make that threat, there's a charge for that, and it's called communicating threats. Communicating threats is a Class 1 misdemeanor and can be charged criminally. Another thing I would like us to continue doing, and that's saying something when we see something. I've gotten countless tips that was beneficial to the safety of our campus. Keep up the good work, and thank you for your help. Let's be mindful of the things we do with our phones as well. Sometimes it might be a harmless post. Sometimes it might be a post that you may send to someone that's passed on. But understand, when you send something that's an issue, that's derogatory, or a problem, you're a part of the problem as well. So let's be mindful of the things we do with our phones. Another thing that we need to talk about and keep fresh on our minds are our safety protocols. It is very important that we know exactly what to do in case of an emergency. A holding place is utilized when there is no known emergency to the school campus and a temporary pause of movement in the building is necessary. Typical uses are a student medical issue in the hallway, a student search, or a facility issue currently being addressed. No movement throughout the building or designated hallways or school-wide until holding place is lifted. A lockdown is utilized when there is a reported emergency or potential danger in the general area of the building. All classroom doors are locked, blinds are closed, and classroom activities continue as planned. No movement throughout the building until lockdown is lifted. Students remain in mobile units unless directed to move by law enforcement. No outside visitors or student sign-outs allowed. Students are not permitted to leave campus until lockdown is lifted. A blackout. A blackout is utilized when an immediate danger or emergency is in the direct vicinity of the building. All classroom doors are locked, blinds are closed, classroom lights are off, and students are moved to a location in the classroom furthest away from doors and windows. Avoid, deny, and defend protocol is followed. So far, our safety have not been compromised. I've been doing my part, driving around campus, walking around campus, staying vigilant and visual, and you've been doing your part too, making sure doors is closed behind you, staying vigilant as you walk through the breezeway. I know because I've been paying attention. I want to say thank you and keep up the good work. As we get deep into the school year, I want to encourage everyone to stay positive and stay sharp. We've been doing a great job so far. So let's keep up the good work and let's keep safety first. Till next time, I'll see you around.